Hello, welcome to How to Love Successfully. This is a podcast for female leaders who are looking for that loving connection and making their love life as much of a success as their careers have been. Here we talk about dating successfully and creating a loving relationship. I am your host, Dr. Kovanen. I'm a registered psychologist and a conscious dating coach. For the past 15 years, I have been working with individuals and couples and help them with their relationships. I share from my personal experiences of dating. I share my observations from working with clients about what makes relationships successful and how to find the right person for you. I would love to invite you to follow this podcast to get notified of the new episodes and join my email list. You will find the link in the show notes to get dating tips and notifications of any new materials. But now let's go into this episode. What is the number one barrier to a loving connection? So perhaps you are now dating and you are looking for that loving connection with someone. Maybe you have been dating for a while and it feels like you are not meeting the right type of people. Maybe it feels like there just isn't that connection. Perhaps you feel almost like you just want to give up. What is generally the thing that stops us humans from having connection with another person? What is the thing that makes couples argue? What is the thing that maybe stops you from putting yourself out there to dating situations? What is the thing that perhaps makes you question whether someone who might have potential, what would make you question if they are the right person? What is the thing that makes you so self-sufficient that there is hardly any room for another person? And if you recognize yourself from any of these, I think this is a really important topic to discuss here. And it is one of the most important things to understand about ourselves as humans. We were designed to bond with other people. We were designed to create these unique bonds first in childhood and then growing up as adults. The humans wouldn't have survived without this unique ability to bond and create connections. But what is the biggest barrier to having these loving connections with someone really special? When you understand yourself on this really deep level, this will unlock something for you and will help you on your journey to finding love. This is why I wanted to record this episode dedicated to this topic that is in the heart of our relationships. So whilst we have been designed to bond, but at the same time, we also have been designed to keep ourselves safe. And there's a constant negotiation between coming closer, wanting to bond, and keeping ourselves safe. And we constantly need to make decisions based on the environmental cues and also the internal feedback we get from our body. We make decisions about how safe it is for us to be here. And our brain, of course, doesn't distinguish between physical fear, a physical threat, or emotional threat. So the thing that makes most couples argue is disconnection. And what does that disconnection lead to? It leads to fear of being rejected. What is the thing that stops you from letting someone close to you? It is fear of rejection. without even knowing you, I can imagine that there is something there holding you back. Because this is a natural tendency for us. Sometimes this natural tendency can really hinder our relationships. Fear of rejection could come to light by becoming a people pleaser, by ending up in relationships where the other person is not present, by almost sacrificing yourself. And although there's a part of you that knows that you don't want to do that, you might end up in these situations with these people, with these men who are not delivering, who are not contributing, because deep down you don't feel that you're good enough. It is really important for you to understand yourself, how it developed, why you have it, and how to deal with those feelings when they do arise. Fear of rejection is a very human experience. It's a very human condition. We all fear this at times in different situations. But especially when you're dating, you are feeling very vulnerable because you don't know. You're taking a huge risk, emotional risk, by putting yourself out there and getting to know various people. And you don't know anything about these people until you meet them. Have you got a dating dilemma? Are you wondering what is stopping you from finding love? If you haven't heard yet, I have free 30-minute dating clinic consultations available every month. And during these meetings, I will ask you specific questions to help you to figure out what is stopping you from finding love. You will leave with clarity and a plan how to move forward in finding love for you. You can find the details in the show notes, and I would love to see you there. Let's go now back to the episode. So what has contributed then to your fear of rejection, and when does it start to hinder you? There are various things that contribute to this. As I mentioned, it is also in our psychobiology. It is in our evolution to keep ourselves safe. So that's the natural tendency. And then a very important point is that depending on the kind of childhood you've had, and yes, we learn about relationships in our early relationships with our parents, with all of those caregivers, and they are significant to our adult relationships. Of course, we can have then repetitive experiences, so it's not so straightforward. But all of those previous relationships, whether it was in our childhood, in our teens, in our adulthood, all of those experiences teach us something about relationships. So if you have been burned in the past, perhaps you have met people who have not treated you well. All of us, we experience rejection. How we deal with it, again, it depends on our earlier experiences, whether we have ever felt loved and cherished by someone else, or we've had to grow up almost alone and bringing ourselves up. And then depending on how grounded we feel, rejection experiences either affect us or they don't affect us. So there could be numerous things. And if you want to understand yourself more, you could do some journaling around it. You could go back and reflect on your experiences in relationships. When have you felt rejected? When have you experienced this? When you go out there dating, what is the thing that comes to your mind? What do you remember? When were you rejected? It may not come to you straight away, or it may come to you straight away. May you remember this crush you had, and this boy, they were not interested, and they laughed at you, or something like that. And this has left a mark. This has left a memory okay, now as an adult, it may seem trivial, but there's a part of you where this was really important and it was very significant for your development at the time. So this could well be hindering you. Or then it may be in later adult relationships. Perhaps you were already married and you had a painful divorce, or you met people who have not treated you very well. So there could be numerous things. But it is the fear of rejection that is holding you back. It is important that you get to know yourself and you do some work around healing these, because whilst you don't need to change yourself, but if you learn to honor yourself, you learn to appreciate these qualities about you, and you do some repair work, then when you are dating, these wrong type of relationships don't feel attractive. You feel more confident to go out there and date. And you're more ready to meet the right person and create the right relationship for you. And if you do need help with that, because this is what I do with my clients, I help my clients to work through those blocks to love. Work through that fear of rejection and keep it to a level where it doesn't hinder your success in love. You deserve love. You, like anyone on this planet, you deserve love. So if you are interested in knowing more, you can book a free dating clinic consultation. It's 30 minutes. And we'll figure out what is it that is stopping you from finding love. And then you will walk away with a plan. How to go at changing your luck in love. So please remember to give yourself the love you want first, and then you will attract that person. I hope you take care now and see you soon.